Yat Ashidina and Michelle Enfield Yenasha, Tachini and Schle, Sinajini A Bashin to Hana Edat Shiche, Torich Edi Edat Shanala, Dihut Adana and Schle, Dihut Anagle and Schle. What I said were my clans in Navajo. This is how we are related, much like the European last name system. I was born in Fort Defiance, Arizona, which is on the Navajo reservation, but our reservation actually extends through New Mexico and Utah. Growing up, I didn't know of a word transgender. The closest word that came to what I felt inside was gay, but then by reading that definition, that didn't fit 100% either. And even now, just politically, I'm thrust into being labeled that. Although we've had language in my tribe throughout history of who and what kind of people existed. Historically, Native Americans didn't care about a person's sexuality or their gender identity. What really mattered to the Native communities is what you did for the community. What did you provide, and how can you provide? There are 5 genders in the Navajo tradition. I more or less identify as Nagle in my own language and feminine in the English language. I knew that there was a stigma attached to a person born male who is feminine. I knew that. And so I was ashamed. There were parts of my life where I was ashamed and confused. My family didn't necessarily treat me differently in a bad way, but they did make comments about the LGBT community that I was aware of. I realized that a huge part of my existence and things that I do really lies heavily on the acceptance of my mother. And one visit, we were talking, and it was very emotional. I ended up crying, and I told her that I just wanted her to be proud of me. And she told me that I've always been proud of you. And so when she said it, it just reaffirmed what I knew, and it really helped me. I was in 6th grade, and I started getting into my cousin's makeup, and I started wearing eyeliner. I just put it on very lightly so that I could see a difference, and I liked the difference. And so that's when it started. I thought I like to look feminine, I like to look pretty. And I think, well, when I started taking hormones, that's another part of my transition story, and that happened when I was 27. I went home, and my sister was there, and I told my mom that I'm starting to take hormones, and she said, "What does that mean?" And my sister, she says, "That means she's gonna start growing boobies." And it was funny, we laughed. The last time I went back to go see her, well, during this time, because I was 27, I was getting my name legally changed. And I went back to my mom again, and I showed her my driver's license. And I said, "This is my name from now on." And she says, "What does that mean?" I said, "This is what I want you to start calling me." And that was it. That was I think that's my transition story. Dating isn't something that I necessarily look forward to. Some of the guys that I've met in public don't know that I'm trans. And they'll text, and that'll be my first text back to them is, "I'm trans." I'm always thinking, do they know I'm trans? Do they not know I'm trans? And then I have to deal with, okay, telling them I'm trans, and then what could happen after that? Will they come and, I don't know, want to harm me or others? It's just not a pleasant thought. there really creates a lot of challenges when a trans person doesn't have their name changed legally, when they try to look for employment, when they try to get their education, when they go for even public services. It's a safety hazard as well. I mean, if you're in a public space and somebody calls out Bob and somebody who looks like Judy comes up, I mean, it really creates a lot of confusion and conflict, and can really lead to some hard discriminating activity. One day you could have a very, very good day and not have anything happen to you. And another day, the whole day, you could have things happen to you like name calling, fingers being pointed. Just recently, a colleague of mine had, she was spit on at a Target in the Valley. And so these are some of the things that not everybody wakes up thinking that this is going to happen to them. And so it can be challenging. I think I'm getting used to it recently, but a lot of the times I still have in the back of my mind that I'm trans and that I could be killed just for waking up and stepping outside in the morning. Whenever I am in the public sphere, hatred could take me out. And so I believe that in some ways I'm oppressed by that. It really affects my self-esteem, my self-worth, and I still feel that I can't do certain things. And I think that is discrimination at its most pervasive. Had to deal with depression, anxiety, sleeplessness. These things just come up and I deal with them. I'm an advocate of therapy. I've gone to therapy for years. It's just another helpful way to help me get over my own stuff. For me, the really positive affirmations that I truly believe that I can do about myself are: get in where you fit in, handle your scandal, follow the love. These really help me wake up in the morning and get through the day. I work and I am in school part-time. I'm working on getting my bachelor's in liberal arts with an emphasis in psychology and business. And so keeping busy really helps me keep my mind focused. I do health education and community organizing. I do a lot of HIV prevention work in the Native American community. I provide presentations, we do outreach at cultural events. There are approximately 350,000 Native Americans residing in LA County. So it's my job to ensure that everybody in this county has this information. Anybody in the community, if you feel that you want help, that you need support, follow the love. Follow the people in your life who have connections, who are affiliated with people who can help. If you're deciding on professional help, then definitely reach out. Transgender is really becoming big lately in media, in the world. And luckily, we have locally a strong trans community that advocates and realizes a lot of the issues that are at hand. Ultimately, we want a safe place for trans people, for everybody. And so we really had to look at systematic changes in order for this to happen. I'm excited about life, and ultimately there's just so many things that I want to do. I want to travel the world. I want to learn to play the cello. I want to advocate for Indigenous LGBT youth. And I want to help people. I'm gonna do it.